go ahead and hit the record. Oh, thank you. Whoever hit the record button. I'm going to hit the record button too, so I have a backup version. But we'll get started. Okay. So welcome to the Tech Coffee Break, brought to you by the NDSU Extension Innovation Team. It's great to have everybody along. This is a very open forum, just an opportunity for us to share what things we've been working on, ask questions of our colleagues, and those kinds of things. We usually have some kind of starting topic, and today the topic is going to be different kinds of video and still camera options, I guess, for lack of a better term. And it was brought up because of our acquisition of a 360-degree camera that Egg Communication purchased recently, and that I've been playing with a little bit. I'm going to post a link here to the website of the camera that we have. It's called the 360 Fly. Speaking of cameras, right now my webcam is not working. I would show you some things. Show you the camera itself. It's pretty small. It's a little bit bigger than a golf ball, about the size of a racquetball. It is round, and the idea is that it shoots video in 360 degrees. Technically, it shoots 270 degrees because it can't shoot underneath itself. So it goes 360 degrees horizontally, but only 270 degrees on the vertical axis. But it kind of gives you this whole kind of immersive video view. I'm going to go ahead and share another link. This is to just some video that I shot in Fargo to give you an idea of what that looks like. So YouTube and Facebook and some other platforms are supporting 360 video right now. So if you go to that YouTube link that I posted in the chat, you'll actually you should see, if you're on your computer, you should see in the top left corner a little space for you to navigate around in the video. It's a little circle with 4 arrows in it, so you can go up or down, left or right in the video as it's playing. And that should give you an idea of what we're talking about. We're talking about 360-degree immersive video. If you're watching it on your phone, you don't have that little controller, because all you need to do is move your phone around. So as you move with your phone left or right, the video will move left or right, or up or down, or those kinds of things. So I thought we'd share this. You can talk a little bit more about the camera if you have specific questions about it, or about 360-degree video at all. And then I thought we could have a conversation about some other things that we might be doing with video or photos, to get more kind of engagement and attention, maybe is a better way of putting it, with our visual imagery. So as you guys are looking at that, any questions off the top? Comments? I'm going to post those links again because I see people are coming into the room and I don't think they can see that. So let me post these in here. For those who just joined us, we're talking about a 360-degree camera that AgCom has purchased and I've been playing with. And here's the link to the camera, and I'll post a link to a video, same video that I shared earlier, but just for those who recently joined, you might not see that link in the chat. Joe's asking any examples of stationary use. Yeah, so this particular camera does still images too. You can either be in still image mode and just create a still image, or you can create them on the fly as you're recording the video. You can just hit the the still image and capture a still at that moment. That'll get saved as well. I didn't put any still images anywhere where I can share them, but I can try and do that too. So that's a little bit different in terms of a viewer. Facebook supports 360 still images when you post there, but there might be limited places where you can actually view the whole image that way. And most of you probably know this or have seen, Facebook supports 360 images, but you can create them, with the panorama view of your panorama mode on your smartphone camera. So the still is the 360 parentheses 270 degree images. Yeah, you can look all the way around. It's not just like a panorama, which is, depending on how slowly you capture your panorama, there's a limit to how much you can get. I don't know what that limit is horizontally, but the still images, yeah, you can look. So when you capture panoramic images with your smartphone, you're not getting up and down, right? You're just going side to side. But with this camera, you can capture a still image that is 360 on a vertical axis, or 360 on a horizontal axis and 270 on a vertical axis. So you can actually move the photo up and see, into the sky, so to speak, if that's the way the top is pointed. So a lot of the stuff you can learn from the website that I linked to, but the 360 Fly, it works with an app on your phone, so that you can control the camera with that app, which is kind of nice. Your phone connects to the camera via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, depending on what's available. If you have Wi-Fi available, connect with Wi-Fi. And so then you can see live what the camera is seeing. And there's some different controls for that as well. And then on the back end, obviously this is not traditional video, so you can't just take it into Windows Movie Maker and edit it. So 360 Fly has a video editor called Director that allows you to trim it, the front and back. There's not a lot of things that you can do except for, trimming it, editing. You can put clips together, so those kinds of things. Did everybody get those links? If you didn't, let me know in the chat and I can post those again. Any questions or thoughts about this? Any ideas for application? The innovation team talked about this a little bit. One thing that it was Monique Stelzer who brought this up to me and asked, do we have one of these cameras when we were leaving a meeting one day here on campus, and she was just curious about it. And was sort of the impetus for us to acquire one. And so what Monique and I are planning for this summer at the Red River Valley Fair is to do a 360 video capture of the 4-H display at the fair. And we're talking about, seeing if we can find ways then to kind of connect that back, each exhibit back to a video of the person who created that exhibit, created that piece, and talking about it, kind of thing. So we'll capture some video during static judging, and then we'll capture the 360 video of the 4-H exhibit. The other thing about this that you can do is when you're looking on YouTube on your phone, you can switch to, on an Android phone, it would be called cardboard mode, but into a stereoscopic mode where you can drop your phone into a virtual reality viewer. And so you get more of a 3D feel rather than kind of a 2D feel. And then you can also move around inside that video or image. So what do you guys think? Any ideas for application of this? I see Lisa's typing, but feel free to open your microphone if you want to. Yeah, Lisa, you don't. You can use the app to control it, but you don't need to use the app. So you could, yeah, you could put it somewhere stationary and just start recording. There's a limit to how much internal storage it has. I haven't gotten close to reaching that limit in the little bit of use that I've used, but yeah, you could definitely do that. So if you're trying to demonstrate something and capture something, you could do it that way. Thanks, Kyla. I think that might be cool. We'll see how that goes this summer. Yeah, so I was meeting with Monique at the Cass County office the other day, and Jake Maurer came in, and yeah, he asked that thing. He's like, hey, would you like to put that on a drone? So during the field days here, during the Red River Valley Fair in July, we're going to, if we don't have an opportunity before that, we're going to put it on a drone and see what it looks like. One of the things that you can kind of see that in the video if you looked at it on YouTube is there's some kind of stretching and things. Who can legally fly a drone for work? I don't know that. Jake says there's going to be a drone at field days, so we'll see.
We are considered a business, so you have to pass the test.
Yeah, I know that.
I don't want anybody getting in trouble. I don't want to put the kibosh on things, but we have to be careful.
Yeah, so I don't know if Nowatzki's going to be there or what. I don't know what Nowatzki's status is either, Becky. I just, I assume it's not just Jake like bringing this drone to work, but if he has one. I'm just looking back at comments here. Any other questions about that? The 360 video? What have you guys used, either personally or professionally in terms of tools or filters, whether it's video or still photos? What kinds of things have you used to, get attention or look cool or? None? Nobody posts videos on social media around here?
This is Becky, and I was at a professional development workshop last week with the creative director with Successful Farming, FFA New Horizons, and Ageless Iron Almanac. And he gave a wonderful presentation on little tips and tricks on taking photos with your smartphone and attachments. And if I can find that online, he gave us a handout book. So if I can find that, I'll share that with everybody. But it was some really good ideas.
Thanks, Becky. That'd be great if you can find a link to that. Amelia, your photos are cool. I see them on Facebook and Instagram. And thanks, Cal, for sharing that about the Facebook Live video. I was going to mention about the 360 video. Facebook does do live 360 video, but right now there's limited devices that works with. So we'll be looking into that as ways to do, potentially, if we see any reason to do it, live streaming in a 360, with a 360 video. So sort of virtual reality kind of things. Cool, TJ. Thanks for sharing that. Facebook Live this farming season.
Hey, this is Ryan Beto. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So this 360 video is really cool. I guess the question is, just because it's cool doesn't mean, like, are you going to need to change the way that we present things in order to maximize the benefits of the 360 video? Like, because what if someone has it going facing the wrong way and you're talking one way, that kind of stuff? What type of situation would this be best for?
Yeah, so I think, it's a good point, Ryan. I don't know that there's a lot of application for 360 video, like if someone's doing a stand-up presentation, with one person standing in front of the room. I don't know that you get anything out of being able to, scroll left and look at the audience necessarily. But there might be in some of these situations, like people have mentioned before, where the surroundings matter, I guess. Where you can kind of look at some things. When I was talking to Jake the other day, he thought that might be interesting to be able to control sort of what you're looking at in context. So maybe you are capturing everything, and maybe when you edit it together, that's another thing that can be done, is that you can do what's called point of view mode, where you have some control over where people are looking. So it's not necessarily when you're capturing this stuff that you don't have to present it where people can freely look around, but you can capture everything at once and then use point of view mode to edit it to say, okay, now we're going to turn the camera over here, and now we're going to look over at this point. So I'm not here to sell it or anything. I'm just the reason we did it because we thought it was interesting enough to try, and frankly, the price point was pretty reasonable. This camera, I think, ended up coming in. I've got my receipt here somewhere. Well, maybe I don't have my receipt handy, but I think it was around $400. And there are some cheaper ones out there too, some that plug right into your smartphone, in the $125, $150 range. Anyway, that's just for your information. I'm not saying go buy one necessarily, but we thought it was worth kind of exploring.
Bob, this is Lisa. I think that if we on the livestock side are working with producers that are maybe having some cattle handling challenges or even some cattle sickness issues, livestock sickness issues, I think that if we could set this up and just step back and let this thing video and then take it and either be able to show producers that we're working with or a crowd of people some things that maybe they don't see because it's in a 360 view, but maybe livestock do see, I think it could be pretty useful.
That sounds cool, Lisa. It sounds like a real application, I guess, real world application. So, if we have an opportunity to do that, let me know, and I'd be happy to try and help with it. Like Becky said, the intention is it's available for checkout from AgCom. And so I guess if we just need to put some instructions together in terms of where you download the app and the editing software, and then you guys could check it out and go for it too. What about things that, so nobody really had, not everybody said that they had thoughts about cool video or photos that share. What about types of stuff that you find engaging when you're out there? Are there particular kinds of videos, media elements, visual elements that when you're out on social media that you tend to click on more, watch more, that resonate more with you?
Hey Bob, can you hear me?
Yep.
So, the link that I just put in there isn't necessarily exactly what we're talking about as far as the question you just asked. But I don't want to forget, and I think it's kind of a fun tool. So we use this tool, this text event pics, at one of our latest conferences, and I've just been trying to think, like, how can we use it in North Dakota? And I really think it would be kind of fun for like county fairs or other, I would say, bigger or longer day type events. So what you do is you give this number to everybody. So we would say, we'll use it at the Foster County Fair. If you think that, so there's different price points, and so for the conference that we used it at, it was, I think, $68 for under 200 people. And so 200 people can have this phone number. They text pictures in, so I would just take a picture when I was out on my tours for my last conference, send it to this number, and then it goes up on the slideshow, and so everybody from the conference can share all of these pictures. I'm just thinking, like, county fair-wise, the extension agents have time to maybe get a couple pictures, but not necessarily of everything or of the fun things or, you know, the different things, because they're just running around working. And so it might be something for some of them to look at. We really liked it. Everybody sent a ton of pictures in. It was way more well received than I thought it would be, especially by some of the folks I was like, they'll never send a picture. Definitely sent a picture. And you can put text with them, or you don't have to. As the moderator, you can decide, like, inappropriate, and you just take that one down. And so all inappropriate ones can be screened in that way. And then during breaks, we would put them up on the big slideshow, and then everybody would get to see the pictures coming through. So just a thought.
That's a great thought. That's awesome. So Katie's asking, is there a cost, Mary? You kind of talked about that, but do you want to?
Yep, there is a cost. I believe ours was only like $68 for under 200 people. And I don't know how long that phone number lasts. Like, you can open the phone number up for a certain amount of days, and so we had ours open for like 2 weeks. Past that, we really didn't want people sending us pictures anymore. So our cost was $68, and it goes up from there depending on how many people you think are going to be using the phone number.
Yeah, so I'm looking at their website now. It looks like $59.95 under 200 people, $295 over 200 people.
Becky, so we are able then to, on the moderator end, we're able to download all of them, and then we can use them. So we're downloading, saving them in a file, and using them for, in 2 years when we have this conference again, we'll use it for promo and whatnot. So yep, you can definitely download them, and I suppose archive them that way.
That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that, Mary. So Joe mentioned time-lapse kind of photography or video that sort of resonates. Anybody else have ideas about what kinds of things attract your attention, video and image-wise?
This is Becky. Was anybody else in Andy Robinson's breakout at Fall Conference? I think it was just last year. Yeah, okay. So correct me if I say anything wrong here, Ryan, but he bought several cameras. They were only like $100 each. I was afraid they'd be more than that. And he set them up in fields for the whole season and had some amazing time-lapse photography for the whole season. It was really awesome. Oh, cool.
Yeah, Lisa, that was a great video. A lot of response to that too. If you guys haven't seen Lisa's video, you should check it out.
Is Is Andy Robinson's presentation online somewhere? I was unable to attend that one.
Let me look.
So I see a couple people are typing, so I'm just waiting for those comments to come in. As we do, are there any thing that anyone has to share about new technology, something that you learned recently, new projects that you're working on, or does anybody have a question for the group? That sounds like a cool application, Marissa, with the tractor safety and the tractor controls in the cab. That could be a good use of that.
I was just thinking, Bob, as at a horse show, it'd be really cool to have that 360 video. I think I see Paige on here. I don't know what Paige might think of that, but I was just thinking that in your rail type classes and even in showmanship, that might be pretty cool to help kids figure out what they need to work on or what they did really well.
Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, that sounds cool.
As a judge, it'd be awesome for me to watch that back and say, well, I had eyes in the back of my head and I saw you did that.
TJ, is that the right website that I posted? It looks like I see macro photography kind of things on there. TJ's mentioning fold scope for macro photos. It looks like it's like a Google Cardboard kind of thing, a foldable scope that you use with your smartphone. That looks really cool.
Has anybody used a telephoto lens? I don't think that's what they're called. To take far away pictures and make them look more up close on their smartphone. I don't know if I'm using the correct terminology. I have a high school friend who has one, and it's pretty cool.
So I ordered like a cheap set of lenses that would go over your smartphone camera. I can't. They don't work.
Okay.
So I don't know about the more expensive ones. My wife just got the new Moto Z phone that has the is it Moto Z? I think it is. That has the attachments, and so she actually bought a camera attachment that attaches to the back of her phone. It takes up the whole battery spot kind of thing. And that works really well, but that's specific to that phone, and it was more expensive than my cheap little box of lenses that didn't work. So TJ is saying one he bought for iPhone didn't work very well either.
I will try to find what my friend has. Hold on here.
Any other questions or things that folks want to share? See, a couple people are typing, so I'll wait for them, and Lisa's going to find those lenses for your smartphone.
My friend took the photo that won the National Mule Deer Foundation, I think it's Foundation or Federation, their photo contest using his thing, and it was like the deer was a long, long ways away.
So I have used something like that, I guess. I forgot about it. Last summer I got this is, I don't know if it's exactly what you're talking about, Lisa, but I got, it's like shoot, what do you call it? Not, it's like binoculars for your phone.
Yeah, kind of. That's exactly.
Right. So I got an attachment that I can connect my phone to my spotting scope.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what he has. And I was just wondering if somebody had tried something similar to that, or even those little lenses that you can buy. So it was cool to hear that.
Yeah, I have that, and I have used that. You know, you have to have a scope.
Right.
At first, and then you can use that. The pictures I get, you know, are just like you're looking through the spotting scope, so they're round. They're on the edges. It's a circle. At least the one that I have. So, I mean, that could probably be, you know, you could probably crop it in some way. I haven't used it a ton. Let's see. Cal's asking, what's the best way to do Facebook Live video? I used my phone. It worked okay, but my phone took a nosedive partway through on accident. Yeah, right now, anyway, Kala, the only way to do Facebook Live video is with a device. When we've done it for the NDSU extension page, I've got an Android tablet, a Samsung tablet that we used. My phone did the same thing. The first time we did Facebook Live video, we used my phone and it just crashed in the middle. They're talking about people being able to use a camera on a computer, and the last I heard, they were starting to roll that out to verified Facebook pages, but I haven't checked lately. So it could be all out there already, but I know Facebook is working on it. Yeah, Mary's saying use a tripod with a cell phone attachment. That's typically what we do. So we have an attachment that will attach the tablet that I have to a tripod so that it's steady, and then we use the rear-facing camera, not the forward-facing camera, so that things don't get flipped. Oh, thanks, Lisa. There's the specific attachment to attach the spotting scope to an iPhone. I won't be able to find the one that I have, but if I go home and find that, I can share that in the notes or something when we post the recording of this. Same with using the computer and camera, Kala. I'll check into that some more and let you know.
I have a question. Katie, what is your husband assessed with? You? I hope.
The spotting scope, or this phone scope that attaches to his spotting scope.
Does he have that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. If you want to see 100,000 deer, just call me.
You should have never told me that. Would he let us borrow it?
Yeah, I would guess so.
Oh, cool.
He's got a Samsung Galaxy. It only attaches to, you have to buy it for the right phone.
Right, yeah. Okay.
But, yeah. Call you later.
Thanks, Katie.
Okay. Any other questions or comments, things you want to share?
I have a question. How do you take really good videos and or photo in low light? And here's why I asked, is I was trying to get some better video or photos of this mare that we were milking out, and she's in a barn, and even with all the lights on in the barn, you'll see that the video's pretty dark. And I tried to put the flashlight on my phone while I was videoing, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, I think Amelia's got the right answer. You know, I don't know if someone else had their phone and could have used or you could have borrowed someone else's phone and so use the flashlight. But there are some phones out there now that are saying that they're supposed to take better pictures and video in low light. But there's not a lot of answers except get an external light.
So when Amelia, when you say that, you can actually talk, you know. Is that like something that goes on your phone or?
There is such a thing as an attachment because I hadn't seen it until this guy demoed it at this meeting last week. But yeah, you can actually buy little clip-on lights now for your phone, but any kind of external light would help.
I should have thought of that, but I'll be honest with you. I had other bigger intentions like getting a mare milked out, so.
You had other things on your mind than taking video?
Yeah, thank you.
I have a question. I was looking here to see who asked it. Kala asked a question about a tripod. Now, did I miss something, or did somebody tell her you don't need one of those great big tripods? If you're doing Facebook Live, just get one of those little tiny tabletop, bendy leg, easy to use, low cost kind of things.
Nobody mentioned that. Thanks, Dina, for mentioning that. Yeah, you don't have to have a tripod.
It's still called a tripod. It's just not one of those. It's not a big, expensive piece of equipment. It's something easy you can throw in a camera bag or a purse.
As long as you have something to set it up on. I've had trouble sometimes finding a place to set that little one.
I said bendy legs because some of them that I see, I like them because they're actually, the legs will wrap around something. You could use a cup or, I mean, you could use anything you have with you. They just attach to anything.
No,
Right.
They don't attach to the backs of pews, I learned, because it fell off right in the middle of the funeral.
Backs of pews. Yeah, I've not thought of that. I'm surprised they wouldn't, though, because you think you could bend it to a clip shape.
It didn't bend quite well enough.
And I got my little tiny bendy leg tripod when the very first time I went through communications camp. It was a prize.
Yeah, I have a GoPro, so I ordered like an attachment kit. It was a super cheap attachment kit. I can't remember how much it was, but it was probably like $20 or something like that. And like with this 360 camera or with my smartphone with a tripod adapter, I've used that many times. So it's got like a clip in it. You know, it's got a float, which I wouldn't use with my smartphone, but you know, things that are waterproof. But lots of different ways to attach things. So if you're doing a lot of stuff like that, that can be something that's handy too. So the link I shared was to a selfie light. I just did a search really quick. Oh, and TJ and Mary have linked to some of those little tripods too.
Yeah, they call them octopus, and I say bendy leg. I mean, tomato. Thanks, TJ. That's cool.
That's what marine biologists call octopuses, Dina, anyways, bendy legs. So, any other comments, questions, thoughts? All right, I think we'll wrap up. Thanks, everybody, for joining today. And make sure that you check out the NDSU Extension Innovation Team. Our website is ag.ndsu.edu/innovation. And if you're interested, look for the NDSU Extension Innovation Group on Facebook and request to join. You just search NDSU Extension Innovation on Facebook. All right, thanks, everybody. We'll see you at the next Tech Coffee break.